Okay. Now the reason this review took so long to get up is because I've had so much shit happening. Anyway, it's here now. Anyway, this is Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars. It's ported over from the DS to the PSP, and the DS was cartoony, so I was a bit surprised with the graphics. But anyway, this is my review of it. As I said, I didn't get past 20% in Vice City, so I mean, I didn't like it at all. But in this game, I was quite surprised because I actually slightly enjoyed it. You know, as on par with all the other Grand Theft Autos, there's a lot of stuff to do. You can, like, there's all these extra activities. I find it quite shallow actually, but, like, once you get, like, halfway through the game, it starts opening up a little bit and it gets quite interesting. But anyway, basically, the structure of the missions is much more interesting than Vice City. You've got much more variety, and due to the fact this was ported from the DS, it has the DS mini games on it, like say for example hijacking a car or something, and they're reimagined for the PSP. Now some people didn't like this, but I thought it added a lot of like character and like interestingness. Like you can gain skill in like hijacking these cars just from doing it. Like it's not like you actually gain skill naturally, not in the game, and that's cool. And also like you know, there's it's okay. Some of it can get a little bit tedious and it's a little bit lame sometimes, and it doesn't really mimic the actions a lot of the time, but it's cool. Particularly one mission I liked the use of it is when you're assembling a sniper rifle. You feel like such a badass. You feel like you're from like some crazy movie like Born Identity or something. You're like. But anyway, there's a decent amount of weapons actually, yeah, and they're all okay. None of them are that much different. Some of the close combat weapons are cool though, and yeah, there's some interesting story modes. There's the rampages you can do. You can steal boats now. You can frickin' do a lot of stuff, and top-down perspective works fairly well. I didn't have a problem with it. It's a little annoying at the start, but eventually it gets good. And the Chinatown is fun to look around. I mean, Liberty City. The police chases are not so fun anymore, but there's an interesting stats tracking system. You know, there's a lot to do in this. You may have already heard, but the drug dealing mechanic, it's a new thing. That's fun getting a lot of money, but it's really fucking repetitive and really addictive. The story will last you quite a while, like 20 hours if you muck around instead of just doing them straight up. And there are some interesting scenarios, as I said earlier. But yeah, ultimately the gameplay's okay. I didn't find it fantastic, but it was okay. Okay, so Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars looks very good for a PSP game. That's probably the reason I got it. You see, it's the lighting is fantastic, and the Liberty City itself, or whatever it is, looks amazing. Some of the water effects aren't too good, like the sound effects aren't great, and there's no talking, or there's not much anyway. But overall, I like the art style. The explosions look good. Some of it was a bit cartoony, like. I mean, I didn't mind some of the comic art style there, but I didn't like the character models and stuff. They're just recycled from the DS. But you know, it's an okay looking game. In fact, it's pretty good. And the damage module kind of disappointed me, but it's you know, it's a good looking game. It looks better than a lot of games on the PSP. So there. Yeah. Now, the story in Chinatown Wars, I'm just going to talk about it. I'm not going to rank it, okay? It's basically okay. It's about this guy, Hung. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. Huang. I don't... I speak Chinese, but I don't know how to pronounce his name. Anyway, he goes to this place. I think his father gets killed, and he and a few other people he nearly gets killed, and he basically gets employed by his uncle, I think, and then starts getting into this bullshit with triads and stuff. And you know, it's not actually very interesting, some of the story things. Like you spend like about 2 hours about this fucking trader to the whatever, and it's just so annoying. But overall, some of the writing is pretty good. Like I didn't mind, and there's no voice acting, but I thought the swearing was a little bit out of context. Like you know, they even use the c word once. I don't use that word because I'm a lamer, but it's just kind of out of context. I don't usually say that in games, but I felt it in this game. Some of the lines were kind of funny, but all the characters felt a little weak, and the story just wasn't very interesting at all. Okay, so ultimately, I found Grand Theft Auto Chinatown was an okay game. You know, it's better definitely than the other ones. So if you're really desperate for one of these games of these kinds, um, get it. I guess it's okay. I mean, open world games, you like them, you can get it. Like, yeah, that's it. So yeah.